Enfa's nest has been a constant irritation forever. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Today I want to talk about Traya and Nest and their strange synergy together. At first it looks like they don't really work together at all because Traya is this evil Sith Lord who has purple lightsabers, and she has three of them. She only has one hand. Talk about overcompensating. And Nest, on the other hand, is a light side resilience character who, does some good damage, does some annoying, obnoxious things, and she has two hands. So they don't on the surface look like they have any synergy. Their kits don't have anything directly working together either, and yet they work really well in tandem. It's been something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I actually had the opportunity to use it in my Prevailman account just earlier today, or yesterday, or a few weeks ago, if you guys are just now watching this video, whatever. But what I'm going to show you, I want to show you guys the kits for just a minute. We'll look at the kits and just the relevant pieces, and then I'll jump to the video, because this is a really cool thing, guys. It works well. I don't know how practical it is for you all the time. I realize it's not going to work 100% of the time for every single situation, but this is a nice little tool to have in your toolkit, which, we're always looking for that sort of thing. So let's go to the game real quick, and then we'll go elsewhere. Whoa, we're with Traya? Madness. How'd we get with Traya? Why does she only have one hand? What did happen to Traya's hand, actually? I have no idea. I always loved her name, though. It's like, you gotta be careful, or if you turn your back on her, she might betray ya. She might betray ya. So, here's the thing about Traya, guys. She's gonna die. In this comp, almost always, she's gonna die. She's gonna lose you banners. But there are a few important things, well, really, just one really important thing that makes this work really well. So, you want to have her leader, as the leader, and as I said, Nest doesn't directly benefit from this. Nest would be happier to have Kira lead, but she doesn't get Kira lead because that's not what's actually better for her. We don't care about what makes her happy, just what makes her healthier and what makes her whatever. So, let's see. So, when an enemy uses an ability outside their turn, they take damage equal to 35% of their max health. So if Nest hits them and they hit her back, then they take damage which is equal to 35% of their max health. And if they are called to assist, the same thing happens, and so they hurt themselves a lot when you put Nest, or when they're attacking outside of their normal turn. And so when you have Nest in there, I think you probably see where this is going. So if Traya there, people hurt each other if they're calling each other to assist, if they are assisting, if they're countering, whatever, if they're attacking out of turn. And the thing about Nest is she's very resilient. So you put a bunch of tenacity on her, and she won't be taking debuffs, or if she is, then you need to find a way to make her not take debuffs, which we'll get into in a minute. But beyond that, so she has counter chance, blah blah blah. She ignores taunt, and this is the one that's kind of hard to decode, but when she's damaged by an attack, she gains the critical chance, then she gains bonus protection. Bonus protection increases by an additional 40% each time. So what essentially happens is, if she just stands there, you make her slow, she'll just stand there, she'll take hits, and if she eventually becomes functionally immortal, invincible even, and she can't really actually die, like people can't get through her until she takes a turn, and then all of that bonus protection is just gone, it disappears. And so what ends up happening, though, against certain teams is if you put Traya with Nest, if it's a team that has a lot of assists and a lot of counters, then you can actually just have Nest sit there really slow and now take a turn, and then as she's not taking turns, the other team is going to hurt themselves, they're going to destroy themselves, and then all Nest has to do is take a quick turn, do a little tap, and take them out. So I'll show you guys how it worked on my alt, and you'll be surprised. The relic difference is crazy. And the modding the guy had, it's nuts. This guy's a really good player, and we were able to kind of pull one over on him. Let's jump over there, shall we? Here we are. Whoa, man, set up. Okay, so we've got Nest, and we got Newt here up top here. You can see the team on the top right, and we've got Newt. We've got and he's Zetaed, so that's great. Dooku, B1, B2, and Magnagard, and so this team is very tough. It's got a lot of relics on it, and the problem with it is if you throw Nest in there, you could throw Nest in with Watt, and Watt can do this thing whereas Nest has a bunch of resilience, she won't die against this team. Watt can also make it so that when Nest finally does take a turn, she's not just stun locked, because she can, it'll kind of dispel all of the debuffs that were on her, and so he'll dispel those, and he'll die as well. He's a sacrificial lamb. But the problem with this comp is you can't just take those two characters, and you can't even take Kira, because B1 here they don't have a way that the B1 hurts it himself. Like with Grievous, at least, eventually, if you were to live long enough, Grievous would probably kill B1. But without Grievous here, B1's just going to turn into a monster and start doing, like, he's going to become functionally unkillable. You just can't do it, especially when you're stunned with Nest and can't actually hit back. And so what we're doing here, we add Traya because B1 assists on every single turn that a Separatist character is going to be taking, and so eventually B1 just kills himself. He just dies. And then once that happens, B1 is the one who's keeping the rest of them alive because he heals all of them, both health and protection, and Nest will never be able to do enough damage, be able to out-damage them, especially because she'll just mostly be stunned and not countering that much. So here we go, guys. Let's jump into the video. You can see we're trying to pinch banners too, so I didn't take any other characters, and I don't think any other characters are going to work. We don't expect Traya or Watt to live. These guys have way higher relics, and honestly, they're really well modded as well. Like this guy, like I said, is a really good player at this level. Hasn't lost for a very long time. This is in the 7-0 or a 6-0 bracket. Sorry, and so you put the shield tech on Nest, and that's going to make it so that when she takes a turn, she dispels all the things on her. And then, yay, we got another turn with Watt, apparently, so let's just give in to the fantasy that Trey is going to live. She's not. And really, I don't even think she takes a turn. So, I mean, everyone's stealthed, everyone's just hanging out. That's fine. And you can see Nest is both shocked and she has stun on her. She can't hit back, and that's what's going to happen against Dooku. And then, but look at B1 already, folks. Look at B1. B1 started with 100 stacks, and you lose 8 every time he takes damage. And under Traya lead, because it's a leadership, that doesn't just disappear unless it specifically says under the leadership when a character dies that this happens. But that's not the case. Like, so when Darth Vader, for instance, takes hit, or when he dies, then some of his leadership disappears, but the rest of his leadership remains. In this case, Traya's full leadership still remains, and so every time someone takes a turn that isn't B1, B1 assists, and that's normally really cool. That's one of the awesome things about B1. But look at this: every time someone takes a turn that isn't B1, B1's just taking damage, and this was a mistake here. I think I paid my first extortion. Then I realized that we're just going to have extortion on us the entire fight. But you can see B1 is gone now. B1 can't heal anyone. And so as we continue along, these guys actually hurt. They hurt themselves too when I think the only one who really assists. So Newt is Newt calls everyone to assist on Nest, and that's actually dangerous because then Dooku can actually hit Nest underneath her protection. But that's the only time that happens. Otherwise, Dooku has like 132% potency, maybe even more. So he's always going to land that debuff. And so what we're hoping for now is that we can get days on him. I really don't want him to hit me back because like I said, he'll hit my health, and we're going to have that debuff, the shock debuff, which means we can't heal we can't heal ourselves until it's our turn again. And so, anyways, you know, they're in stealth. They're in stealth. We can't hit them back, and even if they aren't in stealth, they're generally going to have us stunned. You know, Magna Guard can also... Well, Magna Guard probably can't stun us because we have high tenacity on Nest. But there we go. So Magna Guard's gone, and now it's only Newt and Dooku. And yeah, you know, eventually we can take Dooku out potentially. You can see, look at all of our health when he did hit me back. That was pretty rough. So, yeah, didn't even kill Dooku then. Damn it all. He's healing himself. It just takes a while. He's Relic 6, guys. My Nest is Relic 2. Only Relic 2. Traya's Gear 10. And Wad is, what, Gear 8? Something like that. So, anyways, finally killed our Nemesis, which is Dooku. And... one benefit to all of this is we even have our protection back because of that Watt tech. So 61, 65 is the soft max, and that's the soft max. It is, but we didn't get it. We dropped 4, but small price to pay for a team that I was like, I have no idea how we beat this. This is high relics. These guys are really tough, and so this can work against a lot of different teams. This could work. One thing I would love to try it against. I don't think we would quite we could quite make it work because I think. Because I don't know if we would take a turn, but like against Commander Luke, we could potentially, like if they can't kill Nest and they keep taking turns, eventually they're going to have 0 health. One of the teams that works really well against, though, is Geos. As long as you can time it so that Spy doesn't one-shot your Nest, then you're going to be good because Traya will die, but then Nest will just keep taking hit after hit after hit, and it's a lot of fun. And so, you know, any team that's going to just keep Nest alive for a long time and then Nest eventually takes a turn, this can work. Granted, your Traya has to die. Sometimes Watt needs to be in there and he needs to die. But that being said, this works really nicely. And so I think we're going to leave it here, guys. So everyone, thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Zareth prevails.